Some Marvel teams weren't defeated by villains, they were destroyed by Marvel itself. Groups that once defined entire eras were broken apart, rewritten beyond recognition, or pushed into oblivion by bad events and editorial decisions. A legendary team shattered by one disastrous storyline. A fan-favorite lineup dismantled until nothing recognizable remained. And teams meant to anchor the Marvel Universe, reduced to footnotes almost overnight. These weren't natural endings. They were self-inflicted collapses. So which iconic Marvel teams did Marvel completely destroy? Here are 10 teams that never recovered. At number 10 is the Inhumans, which were introduced in the 1960s as a secretive superhuman society led by Black Bolt and the royal family. For decades, they appeared as supporting figures in Fantastic Four and cosmic stories. Their peak came between 2014 and 2017, when Marvel pushed them into the spotlight with multiple ongoing series and major events. New Inhumans were created worldwide through the Terrigen Mist, and the royal family became central figures in Marvel publishing. In 2017, the Terrigen Mists were destroyed, ending the creation of New Inhumans. In 2018, Marvel concluded their storyline with Death of the Inhumans. Thousands of Inhumans were killed, including Triton, while Attilan was destroyed. Black Bolt lost his voice and was presumed dead. After this event, all Inhumans titles ended. No ongoing series followed, and surviving members appeared only rarely. The Inhumans were removed from Marvel's core narrative and never restored to prominence. At number 9 is the Defenders, which emerged in the early 1970s as an unconventional Marvel team led by Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Namor, later joined by Valkyrie and other outsiders. Unlike the Avengers, they were never a formal unit and were defined as a non-team of powerful misfits. Their ongoing series ran from 1972 to 1986 for 152 issues and became a Bronze Age staple, known for cosmic threats, rotating lineups, and stories like the Avengers Defenders War. In 1986, Marvel ended the team abruptly in Defenders issue 152. Several members were killed in battle, and the survivors formally disbanded. This ending followed an editorial directive to free characters for other projects, including the launch of X Factor and the New Universe line. The series was canceled immediately, and the Defenders disappeared from Marvel continuity. Later revivals were short-lived and inconsistent, never restoring a stable roster or purpose. The Defenders lost their identity as Marvel's home for heroic outsiders and never regained their former standing. At number 8 is the West Coast Avengers, which were formed in 1984 by Hawkeye as the official West Coast branch of the Avengers. Their ongoing series ran from 1985 to 1994 for 102 issues and featured Iron Man, Mockingbird, Tigra, Wonder Man, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and others. During the late 1980s, the team carried major storylines such as Vision Quest and Lost in Space-Time and functioned as a second core Avengers title. In 1994, Marvel ended the team in Avengers West Coast issue 102. In that issue, Captain America and Vision judged the team ineffective, and Iron Man cast the deciding vote to disband it. The series was canceled immediately and replaced by ForceWorks. ForceWorks lasted only 22 issues and failed to replace the team's role. West Coast Avengers characters were scattered into other books, and no permanent West Coast team existed for decades. After decades of silence, Marvel finally launched a new West Coast Avengers series in late 2024, attempting to undo 30 years of neglect. But for a generation of fans, the damage was already done. At number 7 is Alpha Flight, which debuted as Canada's premier super team and reached its peak during the 1980s with an ongoing series that ran from 1983 to 1994 for 130 issues. The team introduced Guardian, Snowbird, Sasquatch, Shaman, Northstar, and Aurora, and became Marvel's first major national superhero group outside the United States. In 1992, Alpha Flight issue 106 marked a milestone when Northstar became Marvel's first openly gay hero. In 2006, Marvel dismantled the team in New Avengers issue 16. Alpha Flight confronted the collective and was annihilated in a brief sequence. Guardian, Vindicator, Shaman, and Puck were killed instantly, while Sasquatch was left incapacitated. The destruction occurred outside their own series and served only to establish a villain's power. Follow-up attempts such as Omega Flight and the 2011 Alpha Flight revival were short-lived and canceled quickly. After 2011, Alpha Flight disappeared from publishing and never regained its former status. As of March 2025, Alpha Flight has returned, but they are currently depicted as a Suicide Squad-style prisoner team working for the government. Next comes a British X-team quietly shut down, Marvel's young heroes destroyed by one explosion, and a mutant strike force gone overnight. At number 6 is Excalibur, which was formed in 1988 by Chris Claremont and Alan Davis as a British offshoot of the X-Men. The team included Captain Britain, Megan, Nightcrawler, Shadowcat, and Rachel Summers, and became known for humor, fantasy, and cross-dimensional stories. The series ran for 125 issues from 1988 to 1998 and served as Marvel's primary UK-based superhero title. In 1998, Marvel ended the series with Excalibur issue 125. The final story featured the wedding of Captain Britain and Megan and the official disbanding of the team. Nightcrawler and Shadowcat returned to the main X-Men, while Captain Britain and Megan faded into limited appearances. The title was canceled outright as part of a wider X-Men line consolidation. Later books reused the Excalibur name, but not the original team or concept. None restored the original lineup or tone. The breakup ended Excalibur's role as an independent X-team and permanently closed its original era. At number 5 is the New Warriors, which debuted in 1990 as a team of young heroes and quickly became Marvel's leading teenage superhero group. Their original series ran for 75 issues from 1990 to 1996 and followed their rise from inexperienced rookies to respected heroes. The core lineup included Night Thrasher, Nova, Speedball, Firestar, and Namorita, and they appeared in major Marvel events during the 1990s. In 2006, Marvel used the team as the catalyst for the Civil War storyline. In Civil War issue 1, the New Warriors attempted to capture villains during a televised operation. The villain Nitro exploded, killing Night Thrasher, Namorita, Microbe, and more than 600 civilians in Stamford. The incident triggered the Superhuman Registration Act. After this, the team was dissolved, surviving members were scattered, and the New Warriors' name became disgraced. Later revivals were short-lived and unsuccessful. The team never returned to its original role or reputation. At number 4 is X-Force, which emerged in 1991 from the New Mutants and quickly became one of Marvel's biggest titles of the early 1990s. Led by Cable, the team included Cannonball, Boom Boom, Domino, Shatterstar, and Warpath, and represented a militant, proactive generation of mutants. X-Force issue 1 sold over 5 million copies and defined the aggressive style of the era. In 2001, Marvel abruptly dismantled the team with X-Force issue 116. A new creative team removed the original roster without resolution and replaced them with an entirely different cast and tone. The long-running concept of Cable's strike team ended instantly. Fan backlash followed, and by 2002 the series was renamed X-Statix, formally ending the original X-Force. The surviving members were scattered into solo roles and minor appearances. Later books reused the X-Force name for Wolverine-led Black Ops teams, not the original group. The original X-Force never reunited as a lasting team and never recovered its identity or role. Up next, the collapse of Marvel's mutant youth, the death of Redemption itself, and a team of children never allowed growing up. At number 3 is Generation X, which launched in 1994 as a new Generation X-Men title centered on teenage mutants in training. The team included Jubilee, Synch, Husk, Monet, Chamber, Skin, and Penance, guided by Banshee and Emma Frost. The series ran for 75 issues from 1994 to 2001 and became a major 1990s hit, supported by merchandise, video games, and a televised movie in 1996. In 2000, Marvel shifted direction during the Counter X initiative. In Generation X issue 70, Synch was killed while saving his teammates. In issue 75, the Xavier School was shut down and the team was officially disbanded. The title ended immediately with no successor. Members were scattered into other books or written out, and several later lost their powers or died. No replacement Teenage Mutant team followed for years. A brief revival in 2017 reused the name but not the original team. Generation X never reunited as a lasting unit and never regained its place as Marvel's primary mutant youth team. At number 2 is Thunderbolts, which debuted in 1997 with a major twist, revealing the team as villains posing as heroes. Written by Kurt Busiek, the series became a late 1990s success built on the idea of redemption. Characters like Baron Zemo, Songbird, Moonstone, Mach 1, and Atlas evolved over 75 issues into reformed heroes under Hawkeye's guidance. In 2003, Marvel ended that era with Thunderbolts issue 75 and relaunched the title in issue 76 with an entirely new cast and premise. The original team was removed and the core theme of redemption was abandoned. The new version lasted only 6 issues before cancellation, ending with issue 81. The original Thunderbolts were left scattered, and the series lost momentum. Later revivals repeatedly rebranded the team into government squads or villain strike forces, moving further away from its original identity. Although the name continued, the classic Thunderbolts never returned as a stable team. While a movie version hit theaters in 2025 featuring Bucky and Yelena, it bears zero resemblance to the original classic team. The concept of villains seeking redemption was traded away for generic Black Ops synergy. At number 1 is Power Pack, which debuted in 1984 as Marvel's first superhero team made entirely of children. Created by Louise Simonson and June Brigman, the team featured the Power siblings and ran for 62 issues through 1991. During the late 1980s, Power Pack had a clear identity as a youth-focused superhero book that still connected directly to major Marvel continuity, crossing over with X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Thor. The breaking decision came in the early 1990s, when Marvel abruptly canceled the series and later imposed an editorial mandate that the children could not age or meaningfully evolve. This froze the characters in place while the Marvel Universe moved forward. After cancellation, the team lost any consistent publishing home and appeared only sporadically in guest roles. Later attempts to revive Power Pack were short-lived and inconsistent, often rebranding them as comedy or nostalgia projects rather than a core team. The inability to let the characters grow permanently stripped Power Pack of narrative momentum. They never regained a sustained, ongoing series or their original relevance. Once legendary teams were broken beyond repair. Which Marvel team's fall hurt you most? Comment below and press the subscribe button and bell icon for regular updates.